First and foremost, I want to say all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that rule well. And salutations to you brothers that's pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Alright, I want to get into this quick lesson today. Speaking with one of the brothers at camp, and we were starting to talk about this here topic, so I thought I'd do a little quick video about it. This is kind of getting into like some of the witchcraft that they put out there in the hip-hop or music and stuff like that, and how we wind up cursing ourselves with these things. All right, first verse I want to jump into is going to be in Numbers chapter 23, verse 23. This is talking about Balaam and Balak here. A few brothers know the story, but I'm going to just get straight to the point. It says, surely, this is Numbers 23, verse 23. It says, surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what has God wrought? So the scriptures here are saying that there's no enchantment against Israel, that that basically that the heathens or any of the so-called soothsayers or sorcerers or witches and stuff like that can go out there and put on the people, and they go out there and they do their satanic rituals and things like that. But however, they're not directly putting curses onto the people. They're putting up their curses and their prayers that their enterprise might go forth and stuff like that. But they also have a more crafty way of putting these curses out. Like the scripture says, they can't directly go out and curse Israel. You can't curse Israel like that. However, the Most High does have curses on us, but that's a little different. Okay. Now I'm gonna jump into Matthew. This is chapter 15, verse 11. It says, Matthew 15, verse 11. It says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man. Okay. Now to put this into perspective, how Esau uses his witchcraft to curse the children of Israel. A good example is through the hip hop and the music and stuff like that. First of all, people walk around, you got the youth walking around with headphones on, they got their headphones on, noise canceling headphones that is constantly just feeding them, and they're blaring their music. First of all, I used to think about things like this, a lot of you brothers, one of the first things you do when you slowly start coming into the truth is you start dropping off certain things, and one of the first things you might drop off is television, and I know growing up in my life, I've just never been a big television fan. I just never really liked TV, So that was quite easy for me to get rid of. There's nothing really on TV. I always thought about it this way. It's like, I'm not feeding my mind some stuff that, is not really benefiting me in life, And, you have people out there who do exercise, dieting, and stuff like that to get their body right and be fit with their body. I'm like, yeah, that, people do that. Sounds, like something that's pretty sane. But what sounds insane to me is that you'll do all that work for your body to be physically right, but what about your mind? What are you feeding your mind? What kind of diet is your mind on? If all day you're feeding your mind the Kardashians, the Bad Girls Club, housewives or whatever, basketball wives, you feeding yourself that all day long, and you're listening to music all day long, what do you think, what kind of condition do you think your mind's gonna be in? You think your body's gonna be overweight, or do you think your body's gonna be lean and fit? So you should be occupied in the scriptures, and this is how you have a healthy a healthy mind and a healthy body. But getting back into how Esau's putting these curses on our people, they having their rap songs and stuff like that. First of all, that's like twofold, because they wind up manifesting the demons that they're trying to put on you, like the private prison complex. If you brothers know anything about that, they pay about, I believe, $40,000 per head that they have in there. So it's nothing for them to go out there and pay a Lil Wayne $100 million to go out there and basically turn out a bunch of other Lil Waynes. You look around, you see a bunch of Lil Waynes walking around with the youth nowadays. They're going to follow and do all the things that he does. He's drinking lean, now they drinking lean. Now the prison complex can pick them up for drinking lean and selling drugs, and they're getting their money up off of them. So that's one way they're doing it. But at the same time, these rappers, like I said, they had these headphones on. The youth had the headphones on. They're constantly repeating these rap songs and stuff over and over and over again. Now, when you listen to the lyrics to these songs, most of these songs, if you're in the truth, you're not going to be wanting to put any of these things on yourself, like the scripture says, it's not what goes out of the man, or what comes in the man's mouth, but what goes out of the man's mouth that defileth him, you know. So it's like how we're calling on the name of the Lord, you know, and we putting up these prayers. You know, we speaking this with our mouth. You know, we speaking words of life, you know, especially when we're on the highways and the byways, we're prophesying and we're speaking life unto the dry bones, you know. And also we're speaking death unto the heathen and Esau. You know, their kingdom is going down. We're prophesying and this is being manifested. How much more about the rap songs and the rap lyrics that, you know, that you're constantly repeating as like a mantra or a chant. You know, you're just saying the same things over and over again. And a lot of things that they're saying is not too healthy for anybody to be saying. You know, for an example, you could have a song that says things like, you know, I'm a murderer, I'm a killer, I'm a drug dealer, I'm a this, I'm a that, you know, I'm the baddest bitch. I'm ain't no nigga like the one I got, you know, stuff like that, you know. So, but then when you look at these things, you know, instead of, like, for an example, ain't no nigga like the one I got, no one can do me better. You know, what if those lyrics was changed around and the youth was, the youth was, you know, crying out, there ain't no Lord like the one I got, or there ain't no king like the one I got. Maybe you would start viewing your people a little different, you know. But if the only, it's just like their idols, you know. The reason that they all want to strive to be drug dealers and gangsters and stuff like that, because all the people they're looking up to, that's the only people they have, you know. So again, with these rap lyrics and these things that people are saying over and over and over again with their mouth, they're repeating these things. It's kind of keeping them in these same conditions, you know. Like, you know, in a lot of the rap songs, they don't have much to say about anything, but they're always talking about sleeping with another man's woman and doing this and doing that, and then they wonder why they always have that reprobate spirit on them all the time, because they're professing these things. They keep saying these things over and over again. So again, it's not what goes in the man's mouth, but what's coming out of the man's mouth, you know. If you constantly repeating a rap song that's talking about, you know, death, basically death upon yourself, or things like that, then you wonder why you're in the condition that you're in, you know. All these young jakes in the hood talking about smoking all day and doing this and doing all that, being on the block running from the cops and stuff like that, but it's actually manifesting out in their life, you know. But these are the things that they're calling on. They're not calling on the name of the Lord, or trying to be saved, or prophesying and you know, coming back to their heritage and sticking to the law, statutes, commandments. So hopefully this video is a little edifying, you know. And you know, if you brothers are out there, you see some people that wondering why they in these certain ruts, you know, you could do something as simple as maybe telling them to turn the radio off, stop listening to all that nonsense, you know, or you know, certain things on TV, you know, because I see this a lot of times with a lot of people. They, like the scriptures say, they become like their idols. People who watch a lot of TV and stuff, like the Bad Girls Club, like I see this all the time. When I see these women, is manifested in them, you know. You could tell the kind of TV they watching when they want to be like loud, ghetto, obnoxious. Like, you don't love them unless they're not arguing with them, you know. And when you turn on to these TV shows like I don't know what the hell the TV shows they have out now are called, but like the Bad Girls Club, or Basketball Wives, Keeping Up with whatever, you know, the Kardashians, you know, they don't seem to have a functioning relationship unless they're arguing. Same with soap operas. And so these women, for one, the women, they're just constantly watching this, being fed in this, and so this is what they turn it into, you know. They turn into the gods that they worship. And same with the men with these rap songs, you know, and they wonder why they can't get ahead, and they just basically nothing at the bottom, but they just constantly worshiping the same empty idols that, you know, that they trying to become, these so-called drug dealers and gangsters and stuff. And so they stay in that little scenario. Alright, hopefully this video was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone and rule well. And salutations to you brothers is pushing the truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom.